Dave Crooks, Susan Mullins, Shelley Miller, thank you for your service to Greenwood. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank the folks at North Central High School. Joe and John and Evan looked at me and said, "Bill, this is about as good as we can do for a crowd here, except at a basketball game." I said, "I'd take that." Look, folks, I am really honored to be here. And I want to talk to you a little bit seriously. I didn't expect to be quite so involved in this campaign. I have now a daughter who's working for a television network and a wife who's got one of only two jobs in the government, the other being Secretary of Defense, that are prohibited from participating in electoral politics. So you're stuck with me. For the warm reaction you gave when Hillary's name was mentioned. I went down to Washington and I got to stay last night in Washington, so when I got up this morning, she said, "I wish I were going with you, but you know I can't." I was there last night because we were celebrating our 37th wedding. Making $16,500 a year, living in a house that cost $20,500, had 1,100 square feet, no air conditioning, $174 a month mortgage. I paid 20% down on it, I think, maybe a little more. But my life has been great by the American dream. Only two governors of small states have ever been elected president. The other was Franklin Pierce, the governor of New Hampshire in 1852. And I got to know people like everybody in my board, even Susan and the boys I've known since they were born. And I wanted to hate everybody. Because when I was elected governor, I was the youngest person elected in 40 years. He's 11 years younger than I am and a lot better looking. And he got elected younger than I did. I was really steaming about it. But a funny thing happens to you when you get older and you realize, and I'm not being morbid here, I've already outlived all the men in my family going back. You have to go to my maternal great-grandfather to find a man who's lived as long as I already have. I am not morbid. I am grateful. But when you know you have more yesterdays than tomorrow, it sort of simplifies and clarifies life. And I think about all that matters is whether people are better off when you quit than when you started, whether children have a brighter future, and whether things are coming together or being torn apart. The rest of it's all background news. And the question is, how do you get that? Now, if you look at what made America great, what built the great middle class in the 20th century, it was clearly an economic philosophy that said, if you build a middle class and you give poor people an honorable, dignified way to work their way into it, if you help people who through no fault of their own can't get along in life, if you try to make sure people get a decent wage and can earn a decent income and support a family, the economy will go quicker and you'll reward the entrepreneurs and the creators, and there'll be more millionaires and billionaires, and we'll all be happy about it. One of the greatest things about America is we don't resent other people's success. As long as they're not doing what they're about. So, what did we learn from all that? That basically an economy of shared prosperity is better than one that starts with the theory that it will all trickle down. What else did we learn? We learned that a philosophy of we're all in this together works a lot better than you're on your own. I want to tell you something, folks. Every time a kid leaves this school without a degree, every time a young person in Indiana has to drop out of college because of the debt, it constrains the economic opportunity and the growth potential of everybody else in the entire state. That means that the most successful countries, and I went to 72 when I was president. I've been to way more than 100 since I left office. I work in places now helping farmers who farm as little as a quarter acre of land. I've been down rural roads. It literally took me an hour and a half to go 12 miles. So once in a while I still go to a presidential palace.